Let's rebuild the Philadelphia 76ers with Jaylen Brown. I'll admit I'm a pretty big fan of Jaylen Brown and his game. I think he's a very good player, but the discourse that's come out around this trade that he's not a top 50 player by some GM's evaluations is just baffling to me. If you prefer Tatum over Brown, I could understand your argument. Well, I do really like Jaylen Brown and think he maybe was even the best player in that team, while they're both good number one options. I just can't understand why the Celtics traded him for the package that they did. I mean, Paul George realistically has one of the worst, if not the worst, contract in the NBA at this point, and they also only got, I believe, two first-round picks and maybe some pick swaps as well in return. I know his value went down because everybody knew he was available, but that's just crazy, man. This is a really good player. But for Philly, this makes them immediately, debatably the best team in the East. Obviously, the Knicks are still there and will definitely be a factor. But a core of Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, and VJ Edgecombe is very, very good. We'll see what teams like the Pacers with a healthy Halliburton, the Heat with Giannis, the Knicks obviously, and even the Celtics still with Jason Tatum, what they all can do. But man, I really like Philly's chances this year to finally get Joel Embiid to at least the conference finals. Now, the East certainly has gotten better and will continue to do so with young teams like the Pistons, the Hawks, and the Wizards as well, all going to be factors. And we'll see what LeBron does. It seems like Philly is certainly an option, but Cleveland also is. So if he goes back to the Cavaliers, this Eastern Conference will all of a sudden be very good, which may be a challenge in this rebuild. But I think this is a very good core, as good as any of them, and I'm excited to hop in here. Here is our rotation for the start of the first season. I think Philly is kind of on two timelines right now. For one, Joel Embiid is going to, continue to probably regress here as he gets older with his injury history. I mean, he's really toughed it out for the city of Philadelphia, but his knees are, not doing great. So you like to win one quickly with him if you can. But they have another timeline now with a guy like Maxey, who's 25, Edgecombe, who's 21, and you also went and landed Phylon, who I think is a very good selection, who's also 21 years old. And Jaylen Brown is only 29. So they do have a bit of a young core they're building here as well. So while we do want to win with Embiid, if we have to, we can win with him taking a back seat to these new guys as well. So the goal will be to win quickly, but if we cannot do that, we will still see the whole rebuild through, do 4 or 5 years here, and try to find a way to bring a championship to Philadelphia. So here is what we've got, 10-man with Phylon getting some minutes here. He'll continue to progress and move through this rotation, and we will see. We'll probably look to upgrade the power forward position and maybe the bench depth as well. But for now, this is what we've got. I also did actually record this already once. I lost all of my audio. I'm having terrible luck recording lately. But one thing that did happen in that is we had a lot of guys just continue to get injured. It wasn't even Joel Embiid. It was actually the rest of the team. And I think for now, unless you guys prefer it to stay the way it is, I am going to turn down injuries just for everybody, not just for our team. I don't think you want to watch this to see people get injured for 5 seasons. I think you want to see how the team's going to perform. So we are going to turn down both CPU and user injuries to 40 from 50 to hopefully mitigate that a little bit, because it's just not very fun when everybody's not playing. Okay, we are at the deadline for the first season, and the team is actually terrible. Like, we're like 5 games below 500, and nobody's even been hurt. So I don't really know. I can't control that. I didn't build this team. The Sixers built this team. So I'm going to even trade Dean Wade and Zach Collins, who I signed here, and a second-round pick for Jalen Williams and Brooks Barnhizer. This looking is a bit younger, and Dean Wade hasn't really been very good. I mean, he's averaging like 5 points a game, I think. Not shooting the ball very well, not playing the best defense. I think he's a good fit in real life, but in this game, I just don't really see it. We're going to move Jalen Williams to power forward and let him start there for us for now. It won't be the best fit, but he does have better value than these guys. And Brooks Barnhizer, maybe we can get him to become a decent bench piece by the end of his contract here. So this is the only move we'll be making more than likely. Don't want to do anything crazy because I just don't think we're very good. And hopefully with a good draft pick and a good offseason, we can be contenders in the second season. Okay, I lied. We were making one more trade. We're trading Pat Spencer and a second for a pick swap with the Rockets and the Mavericks. I'm showing this to you because I did this off camera in my last rebuild, the Giannis rebuild. Check it out if you haven't watched it already. And I turned Daniel Wolf into the second overall pick off camera on accident. I didn't think that was going to happen. So just in case this pick becomes valuable somehow, I want you guys to know where it came from. To end year one, Jokic dominates, winning MVP, averaging 30, 14, and 10 on amazing shooting splits. That is just unbelievable. Darren Peterson does win Rookie of the Year per usual. Kevin Porter Jr., six man on the Nuggets. Wemby is your depoy. Richier is most improved, which 2K just loves him. Luka is your clutch player of the year, and Joe Mazzulla is coach of the year. That is interesting. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay, hold on. Timeout. Here are your All NBA teams. I don't think we'll have anybody in any of these teams. We were terrible again. I'm gonna go on a small rant. As Phylon makes the rookie second team there, very nice. Did we even make the play-in? No, we missed the playoffs altogether. So what I'm a little kind of confused about is we finished standings here at 39 and 43. Obviously, our roster is pretty damn talented. 95, 93, 89, 87, 82, 80. And look, I get it. I didn't really do much of this team because I kind of want to see how they did in their own in year one because they're pretty much done with their roster right now. But the Celtics team, I think, finished second in the East. This roster is not very good, man. Like, at all. I guess I'm still trying to figure out this year's 2K sim, like what makes a team good, because we have better players in almost every position and they won damn near 20 more games than us. I just don't quite understand it, but we will go ahead and sim through the playoffs here after I show you the stats that we had in year one. Looks like Maxey led us here, played well. So did Jaylen Brown. Could use more from him, though. Embiid played pretty well for him, kind of hitting a regression here. Anthony Simons played well off the bench. Edgecombe kind of regressed from his rookie season, but his efficiency does look pretty good over there. Phylon's progressing, and then, the rest of it will be shuffled around next year, I'm sure. So not the best season for us. Obviously, if this team missed the playoffs next year, Philly would probably burn down. But again, I just don't know how 2K Sim Engine works. I don't like it. It seems very bad. I'm sure you hear that often in other rebuilds, but I agree. Not my favorite. So let's see how the playoffs go here in year one. Looks like we're going to see a Timberwolves and Pistons finals, where the Pistons win the championship as Cade Cunningham carries them all the way there. One good piece of news about being bad in year one is that we do have our first round pick this year. As far as I am aware, I checked the trade. I do not believe this year's pick was included. And with the 13th pick, we will look to package that and a veteran, maybe Simons, even though he did play really well, and move up for one of the better players in this draft. We're strapped for cash. We owe a lot of money to a lot of our good players. So if we can acquire some young talent on rookie contracts, it's a bit cheaper. That could really help us build out the depth of this team. All right, in real life, this draft 2027 class is expected to be kind of a down year. But here in 2K, there are 5 players, all that I would be comfortable taking and moving off of Simons to get. So right here, I'm attempting to move up from 13 with Simons for the 3rd overall pick. That does not happen, but I do think we can move into the top 5. We already tried 1 and 2, of course. Let's see if we can get 4 from Miami, and we can. So again, there are 5 players here that all have good potential and good overalls. Potentials in the A's, overalls like 76 and above. All of them would fit on our current team. So whoever the best player is there at 4 is who we will be selecting. Okay, I considered a few different players here at 4, but I think Anthony Thompson is the guy we're going to go with here. He is currently a 5-star enrolled at Ohio State, local kid, I do believe, from Ohio. And I think the idea here is we're going to bring him off the bench as a super sub. He's a pretty talented kid. He can do quite a bit. He has probably the best potential available, if I'm not mistaken here, if not one of. So second best behind, they say Mika here, but I don't really know much about this guy, and I am not sure how good his potential actually will be. So we're taking Anthony Thompson instead here. As you can see, he can score from pretty much 3 levels. Not the best shooter yet, but he's a good defender as well, and above all else has a very high potential. So hopefully this pick works out. This is a blessing, I think, in year one. If we weren't going to be good, I'd rather have a top 5 pick. We were able to acquire one, and I think we're getting a pretty good player. Okay, and real quick here, we are also trading Kobe Brown here, who is our backup power forward last year, for a first round pick swap between Brooklyn and the Knicks. Okay, after missing the playoffs in year one, this team needs a major talent overhaul, and I think a great way to do that is trading 2 players who really weren't part of our long-term future for Illinois legend Keaton Wagler and a first-round pick from the Clippers, who aren't necessarily a good team. This is just simply a no-brainer. Here is our rotation for the start of year number 2. I think our guard rotation is one of the best in the NBA, especially when you consider that Jaylen Brown is kind of a big guard, small forward, so he can, kind of classify there as well. Both Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, Phylon, and Keaton Wagler, that's pretty damn good. We're pretty young too, which is exciting. We signed Jonathan Mogbo to be a power forward for us here, as well as was it Ryan Dunn? That is correct. Yeah, and then we also brought in Luka Garza for some center depth because as Embiid continues to get older, he cannot play as many minutes, obviously, as we have mentioned before. And then Anthony Thompson is currently getting 9 minutes per game, but I promise you he will be getting much more by the end of the year as he continues to develop. So I think this team's gotten better, definitely. We'll see. We're definitely younger, so that's the good thing. If we do kind of struggle here again for whatever reason in year 2, we are going to continue to progress. And while that may not fit Embiid's timeline, unfortunately, it does fit Maxey, Edgecombe, and Jaylen Brown. So we'll see how we do. Hopefully we play well, and I will see you all at the end of this season, unless we make any moves at the deadline. All right, if you can believe it, we are once again playing very bad basketball. We are actually playing worse this year than we did last year. And here I am trading our 2 power forwards for 2 power forwards who I do believe are better. Santi here has 3 years left on his deal, and then Kobe P obviously is young and has room to progress. We have to trade a second round pick, but I'm not super concerned about that. So going to go ahead and make this move, and then I will show you what is going on with the team. So while the team is not playing well, one piece of news here that is a big part of the issue is that Joel Embiid has a broken wrist and has missed a decent portion of the season. But worse than that, in my opinion, is Anthony Thompson did rupture his Achilles. So that's obviously awful news, and that very well may hurt his potential and progression, which is really not good because I thought he would be a big part of this rebuild for us. So I am not happy about that at all. But the big 3 is still playing well. Wagler and Phylon are also still progressing and playing well. So I do really think that, I don't know what's going wrong with this team so much, but I think with a few more good draft picks here, hopefully, and with Embiid's contract, I mean, he has one more big year that he'll opt into after this season. But man, after that, we'll have some money to play with. We'll be getting really young. Hopefully, these years 3 through 5 can be pretty exciting. Okay, Wemby does win MVP in year 2. Stokes wins Rookie of the Year, which is no surprise. De'Aaron Fox is now the 6th man behind, I'm assuming, Harper and Castle. Depoy goes to Victor Wembanyama. Caleb Wilson wins Most Improved. Luka is your clutch player, and Mitch Johnson wins Coach of the Year. Okay, I would assume that we do not have anyone on any of these teams once again, especially with Anthony Thompson rupturing his Achilles. Unless I've missed somebody, I do appear to be correct. So, pretty awful year. We finished with less than 30 wins, which is just absurd for the level of talent that is on this team. To finish second to last in the East is mind-boggling to me. But once again, we'll have good draft picks, so I'm not freaking out yet. I'd rather lose now than lose in years 4 and 5. But looking at our stats here just to kind of see what went wrong, it looks like Maxey and Jaylen Brown didn't really carry the load that we needed them to. Edgecombe did have a pretty good season. Joel Embiid played fine considering he is getting up there. Wagler played pretty well, so did Phylon. Garza played fine. I just think that we just need to get better, and we will look to do that in this draft. I should have a lot of picks. I've made moves for them that you guys have seen, so I will be looking to package these picks and get the first overall selection and take CJ Rosser here. He develops very well. He plays power forward, and I think he can change the trajectory of what we are currently looking at with this team. Okay, here is the postseason. So the Knicks do lose to the Spurs in this rematch. I do have to send a pick swap to the Celtics if necessary. I do believe with them missing the playoffs here, they will just keep their pick because of the Jaylen Brown trade. So we should actually be able to keep all three of the draft picks that we do have. And hopefully, like I said, we can move up and get a very, very good player. Okay, this is a big lottery for us. I don't know. I think that we do have some picks here from swaps. So we'll see what we do land. And we have the 7th pick here. And we also have the 20th pick and the 21st pick. So I do believe I need to trade 21 to the Celtics for 30. And then we should be good to go. We'll have all of our picks. It was 7, 20, and 30 in the talent we have on this roster. I will move heaven and earth to get the first overall pick in this draft. So I'm going to get to that. Hopefully the next thing you see is me making that trade. And then we will get to the offseason. I don't believe this will get it done, but we're going to try to move all three of our picks here, as well as Santi, who we did just acquire for the first overall selection. That does not get it done, but I am happy to also move a first rounder next year. And I would move this pick swap if they want it. They do, and there we go. We have the first overall selection. We will be taking CJ Rossler with that pick, and then we will try to fill out depth with free agency. We need another center. Now that Joel Embiid will probably be below an 80 overall next year, and I think this team, I mean, God, they should make the playoffs in years 1 and 2. They really should make it here in year 3. No surprise who we're taking here. As I've mentioned many times, it will be CJ Rossler. He is incredible talent. He develops very well. And while I know this is a bit cheesy the way that I have done this, I really just don't care right now, considering that we've missed the playoffs in both these first 2 seasons, which is crazy again, by the way. I know I've not really reacted to that yet. I'm kind of becoming numb to 2K Simulator because it's just so bad. But like, this team missing the playoffs these next 2 seasons would be a complete failure. I mean, that would be so bad. So that won't happen in real life. I'm very confident. But because it did here in this game, we will be taking our guy to be our new power forward of the future. And immediately, this should make our team at least, like, I would say 10, 15 wins better right away. Here we are at the start of year 3 with 0 playoff wins or appearances to show for it. But we have built up a very good young core. So Rossler is now in there at power forward. I signed Nick Claxton because I knew Embiid was going to regress. We got him for 2 years. He's actually not a bad fit on this roster, but I will be looking to make a major upgrade at center as soon as I can. This bench looks very good here and very young. We might go with the 10-man rotation, actually, this season, now that Embiid is no longer the starter. And once Anthony Thompson gets back, which he'll be back in 4 to 6 weeks, he's now an 80 overall as well already. So we're developing well. We're progressing well. We just need to start turning this into some damn wins. So we'll see if this year is the year that we can do just that. I also typically do this before the season starts. I offer any picks that we have or that are just straight up first rounders for pick swaps just because you get a chance to have a better pick, obviously. Again, kind of cheesy. I didn't do this in my last rebuild, but now that I've seen how the sim engine is this year, I just don't feel bad about doing it. So if you don't like it, I will stop, but this helps us get better picks and helps the team get better quickly. Wemby does win the MVP once again here in 2029. Rookie of the Year is our guy, CJ Rossler. No surprise, he usually wins that award. Christian Anderson wins Sixth Man of the Year. Wemby's the DPOY again. Austin Gooseby is the most improved player, with Cade being clutch player and Jason Kidd being the coach of the year. I once again do not believe we'll have anybody on any of these teams besides obviously the all-rookie team, but that does not reflect our record as we're in the play-in? We were the 7th seed in the play-in, apparently. I thought for sure we would have been a playoff team as we finished the year at 45-37. Just 1 game behind the Hawks there for avoiding the play-in, but I think this team hopefully is good enough to be a playoff team. I mean, they really should be. All right, so it does appear Anthony Thompson is hurt once again, so he will be out for at least the play-in and maybe the first round as well. Not loving that he's just been an injured guy all of the time. He's a good player. We could use him, but here are the stats for year 3. Maxey once again played well. Jaylen Brown played fine. Edgecombe played fine. Rossler played well. Then Keaton and Phylon continue to play well off our bench. Embiid is still the backup big and did play 82 games, so shout out to him. And then here are the rest of the guys, with Nick Claxton obviously being the starter when he is healthy. So I wanted to improve the center spot at the deadline with all those picks we have and move Claxton in a package, but unfortunately he was hurt at the time and I was unable to. So I'm not really super invested in this season. I'd love to win some games, maybe win a playoff series if we could. But if we can't, I do think we'll upgrade tremendously next year at center, moving Claxton on those picks because we have quite a few of them. So we will see what happens there. But right now, obviously, our focus is this play-in series, or I guess play-in game. So we're taking on Toronto here. I'm going to go ahead and just sim this thing. I do not really want to do a full dive into the play-in, as it does look like we get beat, of course. I'm not going to get super negative with this one, guys. The last one I recorded, I really had a tough time with it. I got really pissed off. I'm not going to do that again, but I'm really excited for college football coming out. This game is just not very good. These rebuilds are tough to do. I mean, we're building good teams, and we're just not winning games. But next year, I think we are at least a 50-win team. If we're not, I'm just going to be pretty upset. Joel Embiid is trying to retire, and we will absolutely be telling him no, he cannot do that. We're going to do our damn best to win this thing with him on the roster. If we can even win a freaking playoff game, I mean, we can't even win a play-in game. So I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here, but he will not be retiring. He will be on our team again next season. After the lottery, we do have picks 4 and 16. So with 4, 16, and Claxton, I think we can get one of the better centers in the NBA. Not one of like the top guys, but a second-tier guy for sure. And with the rest of the team hopefully progressing, that should be enough, man. It really should be, but we will see. Okay, I do believe we actually can get Klingon here without having to move off Claxton. Embiid's not going to be really playable next year, so having Claxton be a backup big for us would be great. I could keep pick 4, and that may be the right decision, but we have 2 more years to win a championship. And the guys that are best in this draft class play at positions that we don't really need, and we desperately need an upgrade at center. So they should take this, I think. They want us to take Kyle Kuzma. I do not want to do that. Maybe if I throw a few second-rounders in here. Again, I really don't want to do that. So maybe another second-rounder, and they'll just take this. There we go. So now we have Klingon to be our new center. We still keep Claxton, and we still have pick 16. Okay, here at pick 16, we will be trading for Eric Dampier Jr. I don't know why the Blazers would do this, but we are just taking centers from them left and right. I do believe he has good potential, and B plus should be what he has that potential there. And with Embiid again getting older and Claxton not being a part of this thing long term potentially, I am happy to have another center into our front court rotation. Here is our year 4 rotation, and I've got to be honest with you. If these guys don't make the playoffs, I may retire. I know I've been back making videos for, half of a month? This may be it. This may be my last one if these guys can't do it. This is a very good lineup. This bench is also very talented, and this depth is very, very good. You have guys like Proctor, Thomas Hoff from Florida in our 10th overall selection that we got with the 16th pick, and Dampier and Joel Embiid all not getting minutes. I mean, if we have injuries, we should be able to afford that this year while we do not want them. This is a good team. This is the best team we've had, and it is time to go win some freaking ball games. So I'm hoping we can win 50 plus here, get a top seed, make a deep run in the playoffs, and win it either this year or next. Caleb Wilson does win MVP here in year 4. I would love to see that as a Bulls fan. Bennett Sturts averages 20 points per game and wins 6th man of the year. Good for him, man. Big Ten legend in his 1 year at Iowa. One of the Thompson twins wins DPOY, and nothing else crazy happening here. As CJ Rosser does make the All-NBA first team, I'm telling you, this guy is an absolute beast here in this game. Sims very well, and obviously, as you can see, averaged damn near 20, 10, and 7 on good shooting. Love to see that. But past that, I don't know if we're going to have anybody else on any of these teams, and it does not appear that we do. So I'm not sure if it looks like we are a play-in team. Again, taking on Boston. So here's what happened this year. Things were going very well. We were winning a lot of games. And then, as you can see down here, injuries. So I do think, I was thinking about this while I was getting pissed off earlier watching this happen to me. I think in year 5, in all these rebuilds moving forward, injuries are being turned off. if we get screwed over year after year by these things, I think in the last season, let's see how good the team actually is without dealing with injuries. But we're taking on Boston here, and being in the play-in once again, I'm just going to go ahead and simulate it, and we do get beat. So I'm not retiring. I just want to. We have not made the playoffs in these first 4 years. This is like making me genuinely so upset. But this team is so damn good. If they don't make it in year 5, you guys probably won't ever see this rebuild. But I do truly believe we can win a championship next year. I actually was recording this last one. This funny story for you guys. And I texted a friend. And I showed him the roster that I built in the last one, which was actually better than the roster we have here, probably. And I was like, this team didn't even make the finals. And he was like, realistic Sixers rebuild. And that's kind of how I feel right now. I feel for the Philly fans who deal with this stuff in real life. And getting frustrated here, no doubt. But hey, you know what? We're going to see this last season, see how it goes. And no injuries. Hopefully, we can actually make the freaking playoffs before I lose my mind. Before we start this 5th and final season, I am trading Klingon and Proctor for Kaman here from Duke and obviously on Phoenix now. This is a slight center upgrade, and obviously I'm trying anything and everything I can to make this team better. Looking at their stats, Klingon average 6.5, 11, and block point 1.7 blocks per game. As you can see, Kaman average less points, but more boards and blocks, and we do not need him to score. So I am making this. I will have to go find someone to sign. It looks like we're under the minimum player limit. So give me 1 second to do that. As you can see, we have the first power rank. This is crazy. We are the number 1 rated team by overall in the freaking NBA, and we have not made the playoffs one time. So getting a little frustrated. Let me go sign somebody, and I'll show you this rotation for the last season. All right, here is what we have. It is pretty much the exact same roster. It's now a 94 overall. Kaman's an 89. The point guard, shooting guard, small forward have been the same the entire video. And then the bench also does look very, very good. Injuries are off. We are going to see what this team can be without the bad luck that 2K provides. We'll see what we can do, man. Again, we have the number 1 power rank. And I think a good thing to look at here just to kind of determine, like, hey, if I built a good roster, and I worry sometimes that maybe I'm letting you guys down a bit here. I look at the point guard position, and we have, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th best point guard in the NBA. So not the best, but pretty damn good. At shooting guard, we have the number 4 guy. At small forward, we have the number 2 guy. At power forward, we have the number 1 guy. And then at center, we now have the number 3 guy. So you have a top 10 guy and mostly top 5 guys at every position. It's pretty tough to imagine that you can't be a playoff team. Considering our bench is also very good, I just have to hope the simulation throws us a bone this year, does us some favors, and we can be in the damn playoffs. So I will see you guys at the end of the season, unless I have to make some trades at the deadline. And if I do, that's very bad. Things are not going well. So hopefully I will not see you until we get to the awards. We are going to try to trade Koa Pete for Noah Essengay here just to make a marginal upgrade at power forward on our bench. Koa Pete is our lowest rated rotational player, and we just want to get an upgrade there. So we'll throw in these picks until we have thrown in enough. You know what? I don't care. This is the last year. That works for me. So we still have the 4th power rank, and we are 4th in the conference currently. But I wanted to upgrade the bench a bit because we are 32 and 19. So I may look to upgrade backup small forward as well real quick. Just trying to become more bulletproof before we get to the postseason because I know things are going to get harder. And heck, right now we are not guaranteed to make it somehow. So might make a few more upgrades here real quick, and then I will see you guys all at the end of the season. Okay, if we can make this move work, we will be trading Anthony Thompson and a first rounder for Isaiah Evans as we do. So that improves our rotation, the worst 2 guys in it. Now, our guys who were 9 and 10 are now 7 and still 9. But I think this is a pretty insane team. I mean, 91, 93, 91, 94, 89, 86, 85, 83, 83, 81. Not a bad rotation at all. We just have to go win. Simple as that. CJ Rosser does win MVP here in year 5. I don't know if we will have anyone else on any teams, but Nick Nurse is coach of the year as we do finally win some games. I'm glad I made those moves because we played substantially better after the trade deadlines. We have 2 guys on the all-defensive team. Love to see that. So I'm assuming, and I'm correct, we got the 1st overall seed here. Let's go look at the standings and how we played. So we did have the best record in basketball this season, and we were 32-19 at the deadline. So again, those moves definitely paid some dividends, even though this team is this is the team. There is no improving it in the future, but it is very, very good. This is a great rotation. Everybody's playing good ball. Obviously, Roster played amazing. We already saw his stats, but outside of him, Isaiah Evans, these stats are a bit inflated because he was getting more minutes in the Pacers than he is here. Jaylen Brown played well, Max. These points are just really spread out because we have so many good players, but I think it all works together pretty well, and I'm excited to see what we can do this postseason. All right, taking on Milwaukee here in round number 1. Evan Mobley is a good matchup for what we have. They still have Burries and Kasparis Yakachonis, and a few other guys here, but this team is just not really much of a comparison for us. But that does not mean that 2K is going to see the same way that I do. So here we go. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And Game 4 does go to us. Clean sweep. Love to see it. Taking on the Pistons here in round 2. All right, this Pistons roster still has Cade, Asor Thompson, and Jalen Duran. They have Asa Newell now as well as Jalen Suggs and Ayo Dosunmu, Adai Mara. Got some guys from the Big Ten. Love to see it there. But this roster probably did regress a bit here, but that does not mean, again, that 2K will see that the same way that I do. So Game 1 does go to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. And Game 5 goes to us. All right, now we're in the conference finals, and all of a sudden, I feel a bit better about how this rebuild has gone. Okay, taking on the Nets here. Let's see who this roster has. I do believe they have Luka. I think they added Luka, actually. I'm pretty confident they did. Man, this team's actually pretty good. Luka, Marcus Spears, Michael Brown Jr., Igor Demon, AJ Mitchell. They're very guard heavy. And we have some pretty talented bigs. So that should bode well for us. But, for the first time in this playoffs, we may not have the best player on the floor as we are playing against Luka. And as I say that, I remember that we just played against Cade Cunningham, who obviously is very talented as well. But again, 2 very good guards. Let's see what we can do as we need to sim the round. And we will be taking on the Spurs or the Mavericks if we can find our way out of the conference finals. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. Game 3 goes to us. And Game 4 goes to them. Game 5 goes to us. We are in the finals. Let's go. I don't even know if we made the finals with that Giannis rebuild. This might be my first finals on 2K now that I'm back here making videos. And we will be playing the Spurs with Wembanyama winning the Western Conference Finals MVP, his second of his career. Well, he probably won some more here in this simulation. And obviously at roster, it does it for us, averaging damn near a triple-double. Wow. Okay, the Spurs team looks very, very similar to how it looks in real life, with the main, I think, 3 pieces of their future still being here, as well as De'Aaron Fox still being here, and Carter Bryant. They added Omar Meyer, who I believe played at Purdue currently. Yeah, Purdue guy here. Still have Quaintance there, as well as Ratliff here. They've probably lost some depth, but with Wembanyama, it's going to be a challenge. So let's see what we can do. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to them. Game 3 goes to us. Game 4 goes to us. Game 5 goes to them. Game 6 goes to them. No way. Oh my God. You gotta be kidding me. I think 2K is like, hey, here, we're going to get you to the conference finals and the finals, here in year 5, and you're going to blow a 3-1 lead. I think they're watching this. They're pulling a joke on me. All right, we will obviously be simcasting this here. I'm nervous, like really nervous. This is it either way. I want to win a championship so bad, as we have a little bit of a lead here in the first. Okay, it looks like we are blowing that lead here in the second quarter. It's still a close game. But I don't like this at all. I am not having a good time right now. Okay, we have a close to a 10-point lead here, but this thing is still very, very close, as we do take a bit more of a lead, but they are not letting that go, as we're up 13 here, up 10. Oh my God. And we have a nice lead, but we obviously blew a 3-1 already. but it's starting to look pretty good for us. It's starting to look pretty good for us. There we go. Unless this last 4 minutes gets crazy, it's looking like we will be NBA champions. I'm going to hop in here. We're going to watch this celebration. All right, and I called timeout because there is one man who I want on the floor here as we finish this season. Joel Embiid has checked into the game. Not only has he made his first conference finals, he is about to be an NBA champion after almost retiring. What a moment. Get this man the basketball. Let him dribble this thing out. This is just so incredible. I thought for sure we were dead in the water, but we find a way to win a championship here in Philadelphia in year 5 after missing 4 straight postseasons. We've done it. And there it is, CJ Roster holding the trophy up. He will surely be Finals MVP. Pretty cool celebration, man. This is pretty sweet. I'm glad we were able to get done with Joel Embiid again. That is pretty neat to me. I'm just so glad we were able to finish this thing out with a ring. And there you have it. We are champions. Roster does win Finals MVP, averaging 24, 9, and 10. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy's a beast. I don't know how good he is in real life. He's obviously just a prospect right now. But here in these draft classes, especially on PS4 or PS5, excuse me, he's incredible. Here is one last look at the roster. I mean, once again, just an absolutely outstanding group we had here. Those bench improvements, getting Isaiah Evans as well as SNG, I guess, paid dividends. Loaded team here. I'm glad they got it done. This rebuild was stressful, I'll be honest, but I'm glad it paid off. But that is going to do it for me. So thank you guys once again for watching. If you've enjoyed these 2K rebuilds, let me know. I'm planning on the next one as of now being a LaMelo Ball Timberwolves rebuild. But if something happens with LeBron or maybe I decide to go a different direction, you'll see whatever it will be the following Wednesday after this one does post this Wednesday. So thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed, let me know, and I will catch you guys all in the next one.